Hello and welcome to Storytime. I am your Storytime reader, Ms Nikki. We all know how to count things, right? Yes, of course you do. But do you know how to count parts of things? Today's read aloud, titled Fraction Fun, is going to introduce us to fractions. What is a fraction, you ask? A fraction is a part of a whole number and a way to split up a number into equal parts. Let's read and learn about fractions together. Fraction Fun, written by David A. Adler and illustrated by Tobin. A fraction is a part of something. We use fractions all the time. I'm 8.5. I'm 7.5. I'm 8 3/4. When someone says she is 8.5 years old, she is using a fraction. She is saying that she is a fraction, a part of a year more than 8. When you share a granola bar with a friend, you are using fractions too. Each of you is getting only a fraction, a part of the bar. I'm 21.5 in dog years. Each time you eat a slice of pizza, you are eating a fraction, a part of the pie. Most often, pizza pies are cut into 8 slices, into 8 equal parts. Each slice is one of those 8 equal parts. Each slice is 1/8 of the pie. If you eat one slice, you are eating 1/8 of the pie. If you eat 2 slices, you are eating 2/8 of the pie. You are eating 2 of 8 equal parts. In the fraction 1/8, the top number, the 1, is the numerator. The bottom number is the denominator. Each fraction has a numerator and a denominator, a top number and a bottom number. Now let's do some pizza math. It will teach you about fractions. To do pizza math, you will need 3 paper plates, all the same size, a pencil, a ruler, and red, green, and blue crayons. With the pencil, mark the center of each plate. Using the ruler, draw a straight line through the mark from one edge of the plate to the other. The lines you drew divided each plate into 2 equal parts. Each part is half of the plate. If on your plates, one part is larger than the other, it is probably because your marks were not in the exact centers of the plates. On the plate, write half in each of the 2 parts with the red crayon shade in one part, half of the plate. On another plate, draw a second line from one edge to the other and through the center mark. Draw it so you divide the plate into 4 equal parts. Each part is 1/4 of the plate. Write 1/4 in each of the 4 parts of the plate with the red crayon. Shade in one part, 1/4 of the plate. On the third plate, draw a second line through the center of the plate, dividing it into 4 equal parts. Next, draw 2 more lines through the center of the plate, dividing it into a total of 8 equal parts. Each part is 1/8 of the plate. Write 1/8 in each of the 8 parts of the plate. With the red crayon, shade in one part, 1/8 of the plate. Now look at the 3 plates. Pretend each of the plates is a pizza pie. Pretend each red section is a slice of pizza. Which slice is the largest? Half, 1/4, or 1/8? Which slice is the smallest? What happens to a fraction as the denominator, the bottom number, changes? As the denominator gets larger, the fraction gets smaller. As you cut the pie into more and more slices, each pizza slice gets smaller and smaller. With the green crayon, shade in 2 sections of the third plate. The 2 sections should be next to each other. You have shaded in 2/8 of the plate. With the blue crayon, shade in 3 sections of the plate. The 3 sections should be next to each other. You have shaded in 3/8 of the plate. If you pretend that the plate is a pizza pie, it's clear that there's more pizza in the blue section than in the green section, and more in the green than in the red. 3/8 is more than 2/8 or 1/8. 2/8 is more than 1/8. What happens to a fraction as the numerator, the top number, gets larger? As the numerator gets larger, the fraction gets larger. Now that you know about fractions, you can find the weight of some things that weigh almost nothing at all. You can find the weight of a penny, a nickel, or a dime. To weigh them, you will need a scale like a diet or postage scale, a scale that will register as little as 1 ounce. You will also need a lot of pennies, nickels, and dimes. How much does a penny weigh? If you put 1 penny on the scale, it seems to weigh nothing at all. Add a penny. Keep adding pennies until the scale registers 1 ounce. How many pennies did it take? Take the pennies off the scale and do the same thing with nickels. Take the nickels off the scale and do the same thing with dimes. How much does each penny, nickel, or dime weigh? On my scale, 11 pennies together weigh 1 ounce. Each penny weighs 1/11 of an ounce. 6 nickels weighed 1 ounce. Each nickel weighs 1/6 of an ounce. 13 dimes weighed 1 ounce. Each dime weighs 1/13 of an ounce. Which coin weighs the most? The nickel is the heaviest of the 3 coins. The smaller the bottom number of a fraction, the denominator, the larger the fraction. 1/6 is more than 1/11 or 1/13. Which coin weighs the least? The dime is the lightest coin. The larger the bottom number of a fraction, the denominator, the smaller the fraction. 1/13 is less than 1/11 or 1/6. Now get some tissues, envelopes, and pencils. How much does each tissue weigh? If you put just 1 tissue on the scale, it seems to weigh nothing at all. Keep adding tissues until the scale registers 1 ounce. How many tissues together weigh 1 ounce? That number is your denominator. How much does each tissue weigh? How much does each envelope weigh? How much does each pencil weigh? Which weighs the most? A tissue, an envelope, or a pencil? Which weighs the least? Sometimes it's hard to tell if one fraction is more or less than another. Sometimes, even though 2 fractions look different with different numerators and denominators, they are really the same. To learn about fractions that look different but are really the same, you will need graph paper, a pencil, a ruler, and a crayon. Using your ruler, draw 3 rectangles on the graph paper. Make each rectangle the same size, 4 boxes long and 2 boxes wide. Divide the first rectangle into 2 equal parts, into halves. With the crayon, shade in half of the first rectangle. Divide the second rectangle into 4 equal parts, 1/4. Shade in 2/4 of the second rectangle. Divide the third rectangle into 8 equal parts, 1/8. Shade in 4/8 of the third rectangle. Compare the shaded sections of each rectangle. They should look the same. Half, 2/4, and 4/8 are equal fractions. Coins can also teach you about fractions. There are 4 quarters in a dollar. Each quarter is 1/4 of a dollar. There are 20 nickels in a dollar. Each nickel is 1/20 of a dollar. There are 100 pennies in a dollar. Each penny is 1/100th of a dollar. 1/4 is 1/4 of a dollar. It's 25 cents. 5 nickels are 5/20th of a dollar. They're 25 cents. 25 pennies are 25/100th of a dollar. They're 25 cents too. 1/4, 5/20th, and 25 of 100 are equal fractions. There are lots of other equal fractions. Now that you know about fractions, start looking for them. When a glass is only partly filled with juice, only a fraction of the glass is filled. When you have read one of many chapters in a book, you have read only a part, just a fraction of the book. Keep on the lookout for fractions. They're everywhere. The end. Fractions are used in our everyday lives, especially when we want to share something equally, measure a part of something, or even tell the time. Take a look and see if you can find any fractions around you. Thank you for listening. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other and stay curious.